Hey guys, what's going on, everybody? Tonight I'm going to be playing some Bravo. Nick's joining us for a while. Not sure how long he'll be here, but we're going to be getting some games in tonight, doing a little bit of testing. Say hi, Nick.
Hi.
Let's see. Does the favorite deck thing not work anymore? There it is. Bravo. Private. Create game. Deck is invalid. Well, that's a new one. Okay. Shoot you the invite link in Discord real quick. Oh, that's the wrong thing. There you go. I just sent it to you.
I'm in here.
Oh, there we go. Are you player 2?
Yeah.
Cool. So we'll want tectonic plating here. Let's see. I have 60 of 60 cards in my deck. The one thing that we have in here is the Remembrance. I don't know that we want the Remembrance. I think we'd rather have the second Pulverize. So I think we're just going to put the Pulverize in here and just go at it that way. I think that'll be better. Hey, Ian, what's going on, dude? Rolled a 2. Okay.
4-2.
I guess we'll go here. So we'll go activate tectonic plating, and then we'll throw Spinal Crush here. And then we're going to Arsenal our last card, put us in a pretty good spot. Big chillin'. Hope y'all have been good. Yeah, man, we can't complain too much. Do you need to hop on and play Fortnite with us one night? I don't, if you'll be on later, man, we might be playing later. I was like, I know we played together a little bit, but I was like, me and Carly play quite regularly. Even if Kyle's not on, man, you should hop on and we'll play. Just gotta let me know and I'll be down. How's the best way to get a hold of you? Like if I shoot you like an Xbox message, like do you see it if you're on? Because I never see my Xbox messages. I'm the worst about that. I have to say, Nick, the one thing I don't like from a Bravo perspective, is that you can just take 6 there and still roll scabs to get around.
Gogan.
Yeah, to just like to get around that.
It just shuts down my claws.
That's true. It does stop the claws.
And my buffs.
It stops Blood Rush too.
Yep.
I suppose, yeah, which is kind of good for me. We'll do that. Discord, Xbox, any of them? Okay, yeah. I'll just message you on Discord. That'll be a lot easier that way. All right, so we're still only taking 1 action. You like to see that? Okay.
Yeah, let me redo that. My bad.
No, you're good, man. Yeah.
I totally forgot about the 1 action. We'll swing big.
So I think I'm okay just taking 8 here. I don't really need a quicken token for anything. Being able to use a quicken token effectively is not a extremely high priority on my list, so we have a seismic surge active, which means we'll go tectonic plating, choke slam for 8. Choke Slam's a pretty good card if Nick has if Nick's trying to Blood Rush Bellows. Now it doesn't stop the claws, unfortunately, but it does stop any of his attacks from getting buffed. So Nick blocks 6. We're gonna play the pummel. Getting another card in the Nick's hand is a very good turn for us. Plays Oasis Respite, so he'll cover up 10, take 2, go to 32, but then he has no cards. Oh. Nick has no cards to actually to do anything with, so we've kind of set up the game state in a pretty decent way for us here. So I could pitch this. I could play Imposing Visage here, go get a Showtime, and then get like a red Choke Slam. And still throw 8 and then have a 5-card hand going in the next turn. I think that might be our best play here. 5-card hand going in the next turn is pretty solid. I don't know that there's anything else that we really want to get for 4 that is worth it, because it'd have to cost 4 and allow us to throw in here. And I think red Choke Slam's just our best card for that. So we'll just set up for a 5-card hand next turn and come in for 8 here. Now Nick doesn't have to play around pummel or anything. He's aware that we only have a card in Arsenal here and none floating, so but if Nick is looking to Tunic Blood Rush, then we might be in a pretty sweet spot to shut that off. Or at least make that a little bit harder to do with the Choke Slam Crush effect. Considering that Nick is blocking only with Crown, it tells me that he either has a defense reaction or he does not have a relevant, he does not have a card relevant to our Crush effect here. Discarded a High Roller there. So Nick takes 2, and we don't take any damage, which is kind of nice. Wow.
That's not good.
Wow.
That's not good.
I did not see that coming. Back-to-back ones. Just going to go ahead and write that down in my notes as that's why I won this game, because so we'll just go ahead and play Rouse the Ancients here. Our card off of Showtime, it is worth noting that our play last turn to that our play to set up a little bit allowed us to have Rouse this turn, which is very good. We're going to activate Tectonic Plating so that we have a Surge for next turn, and we're going to throw Command and Conquer. since we revealed Command and Conquer, Nick knows it's coming, so he's not really like probably looking to block the Rousey Ancients there. Now,
Right. I gotta make up some ground.
I was like, if you roll a 6, I feel like that's a pretty good place to start. This is a very interesting hand, and one that I will probably clip. Smash Instinct. So let's go Crown of Providence here. We are going to put Pulverize on the bottom. We're going to immediately cry because we drew something worse than what we thought. We're going to put that on the bottom. This is a very awkward hand, but we still have a playable hand. So it's terrible for pitch stack, but the game really won't go to pitch stack, so I'm okay with pitching this here to do this. So we'll pitch our Pulverize here to activate plating, and then we'll throw Choke Slam for 8. This is an extremely bad move if we're looking for a very long, grindy game into second cycle, because we put both of our Pulverizes together. Like, that 4-card hand would be double Pulverize, blue Debilitate, and a red Pummel. But maybe, I don't know. I think putting the Pummel on the bottom so that we could have the Choke Slam to throw for 8 here was by far our best play.
You take that back where I can respond with tune.
Yeah. No, you're good, man. Favorite scene. What I imagine I was like is an Oasis Respite. So it's not a bad turn cycle for Nick because he's able to actually net a life here and still keep 2 cards in his hand, which is pretty nice on his part. Sheesh. Man, these hands are interesting. So swing big. So I honestly like blocking 4 and then playing our Sink Below. And I'm going to keep both of the cards that I have, because if I draw a red, it makes my play that I just made kind of worthless here. So we're going to go Surge. Command and Conquer with Go Again, which is really good. And then our other card is a blue, so we're going to be able to come in with a Hammer after this. So we've turned our hand into a 12-point Command and Conquer turn, which is like really good. It's insanely good. I've picked up some spicy Lord of the Ring memes today. Oh, have you? Are you just waiting to flood the group chat with them? So that's Nick's second Reckless Swing. So I personally know, because Nick and I talk a lot and we test quite regularly, that he's only playing 2. But if I was playing against a Rhinar, I would be prepared for there to be a third one. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, there's only one. There's only one. One Reckless Swing to get through. So my hand's pretty solid. I don't really want to block with anything, although Nick's turn is going to be pretty good because he's probably gonna. I mean, I can. So I can block 5 and throw 6. Make a surge. Or I can throw 13 and arsenal a card. Sounds like throwing 13 arsenaling a card's better. Going to drop them all on you all at once, an unspecified point in the future. Well, I'm looking forward to that. Well, thankfully, Nick had a couple of reds and his hand was a little awkward. So he only was able to claw us twice. So we'll play this, pitching this, and then we're going to reveal the last 2 cards in our hand. And a sink below there. Honestly, is it better to arsenal this, or is it better to make a surge and hammer here? It's probably better just to arsenal our other card and just keep our 13-point turn here. Get 2 cards out of Nick's hand, which is pretty good. We're gonna go Rouse then Macho because we know what our pitch stack is. So Nick rolling Scab Skins here tells me that he probably has a blue. Because if he has a blue and he rolls a 4 or better, he's going to try and claw us twice. Or honestly, he might have had a defense reaction and he's just trying to live rent-free in my head. That's also an option. Dominated Crippling Crush this late in the game is pretty solid. Nick have to have a pretty solid hand here to cover it up. 2 defense reactions would do it. Or just 1 defense reaction does it. Because if he throws a 3 block from hand and a Scab Skin block, that's 4. And then if he has a defense reaction in his arsenal, then he's in a good spot. But he had to have the defense reaction last turn. Okay, so no defense reaction. So we get 2 cards. And we pad our life lead a little bit there. Nick took 7 that turn. Nick's rolls have definitely been in our favor this game. What's our turn gonna look like? Are we going to play this and then come in for 8 dominate? On hit, do nothing really. I mean, I could also just block this and then dominate it anyway. I think keeping our life total higher is better than the extra point we get from the buckle here. So we'll go make a surge, activate Bravo, and then we'll throw the disable here. 7 dominate, crushes. Nick puts a card from his arsenal on the bottom of his deck. Nick says no blocks. I was like, tells me it's probably a defense reaction. have to say the one thing I didn't really consider there that I probably should have thought about is the fact that if I had taken 3 and played the buckle there, I would have been able to the buckle would have allowed us to destroy the scab skin leathers. Now, scab skins is just just not worked out in Nick's favor at all this game, but
No.
I do have a surge active, so let's make a surge. And then let's come in for 8. We had a couple of options that turn. Without saying too many things to give away what's in my hand here, we did have a couple of options that turn, but I like throwing the Thunderquake here. I was like, with Nick being at 6, it will get cards out of his hand, and we get a card to Arsenal here. Now, this is a terrible hand that we will be blocking with.
Uh-oh.
I was like, I thought you rolled a 4 or something. Oh, nice. So Nick gained some life there. Draw some cards. That's pretty good. Puts him back in a better situation. Let's just block 3 here. We'll take 3 and go to 19. And we'll still get to throw a pretty decent attack here. Now, like we said earlier, Nick can play around it with his scab skins, but Spinal Crush is still a very hefty attack. And considering our hand was triple red there, I don't think we're in too bad of a spot. So we've played 1 red bummel, and we bottomed 1 earlier off of a sink below. So we have 1 more coming back around. Should be, I mean, probably in the next, like, I think it has to come around in the next 3 hands, but I think that's just about where we're at in the game and the deck. Nick takes 6 here. Sheesh. So what 2 cards did you take? Took those 2 cards. So I need to be able to keep this. So let's just go. I think I'll just keep this. Man, I think this is better. And I'll explain why I think this is better in just a minute. Because there were, I mean, we had a couple of options this turn as well of things we could play, so. So we could have just thrown the Thunderquake and not played the Pummel, but I like the idea of being able to push damage through, because coming in for 7. I'm just gonna take 7 here because I think we have a hand that's gonna end the game with Nick not having an arsenal. So we make a Seismic Surge, we activate Bravo, and then we come in with Spinal Crush for 9 Dominate, and we still have 2 floating, so. Oh, you played Sigil. I was like, why do you only have 3 cards in your hand? So Nick still takes 7 here. I think your rolls killed you that game. Like, honestly, I think
Yeah, it did.
your rolls just put you so far behind that game.
I went a little crazy with them, for sure. Definitely won't play again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's see here.
I was trying to get that tome out of my arsenal.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Like, honestly, I completely understand getting it out so you can play it.
Yeah.
So 1-0, bop 'em. That's right, Ben. Bop 'em. Always be bopping. Man, back-to-back hands. I've had very good opening hands to start the game with. This is a matchup where I would choose to go first. Bravo does very actively choose to go first. So, did you roll scabs or anything, or just beat down than that?
Down, then claw. Raj, and then claw.
Actually, I think we want to block with this. Now we'll keep this in our hand because depending on what we draw, we have the ability to play Imposing Visage here and have a pretty decent turn. ABB, always be bopping. That's right. So we can play Imposing Visage. Go get a Showtime. Go get a Crippling Crush. Or we could go get a Pulverize. I like the idea of getting a Pulverize with a 5-card hand, and we still have Crown up in case Nick sees a Command and Conquer here. Yeah, I think that's the play. We'll get a Showtime. We'll get a Pulverize. We'll heave our Pulverize. We'll go Choke Slam, then Pummel, then Debilitate. Nick rolls a 4 here. Okay. Create your own Blood Rush Bellows. I like it. IKEA Bellows. I think I'm going to start calling it that. I like that. You discarded a Pack Hunt. Yep. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. So the surges go off. We pitch this to activate Bravo. And then we come in with 14 Dominate. We did have to take 6 damage to do this, but Pulverize is an 18-point swing, essentially, because of Pulverize's text that says whenever it hits a hero, the first attack during their next turn has -4. And the Dominate effect essentially ensures it's going to hit. If Nick goes Crown of Providence and Scabskins, that's 4. Sink Below is another 4, which is 8. And then a Sink Below from Arsenal is 12. The other option he could have is everything we just said. He could block with 1 equipment piece, have a Sink Below, and then have 2 of the Oasis Respites in one hand. That's also an option. Okay, so Nick takes 5 here. And we'll run it back. Wow. That's a hand. I'm gonna snipping tool this. Yeah, I'm gonna save that for later because that's a hand and a half if I've ever seen one. Beast Within. Banish Beast Within. Oh, so you drew a Beast Within off the Beast Within. All right. Sigil of Solace is a good card, but also good for us here because Nick seeing Sigil of Solace on a Blood Rush turn is just like very valuable for us. And this only comes in for 1. I'm wasting a point of block here, but I think it's worth it. My hand is so bad that I have to get rid of my Pulverize here. So I'm taking a chance that Nick doesn't attack with the other claw. Now, it is very high chance he does attack with the other claw, but if he doesn't, I have put myself in a spot that's pretty bad. Like, I wouldn't say unsalvageable, but it is pretty bad. So we will throw the Crippling Crush. I forget that this costs 7. So we can activate Bravo and then throw this and then have terrible pitch stack. Or we activate Plating, throw the Crippling Crush for 11, and take some cards out of Nick's hand here. The early Pulverize was very good for me, but my second hand not being able to play the Pulverize was also very like good for Nick. Okay. We get 3 cards out of Nick's hand. Well, Arsenal. So we'll activate Tectonic Plating. We'll throw Chokeslam for 8. Did you put a card on the bottom with Crown?
Yeah.
That's weird. They used to tell me that you did that. Just didn't tell me. It's very bizarre to me. Used to let me know that. So the Pummel gets a card out of his hand. We'll go Thunderquake, then Crush the Weak. We'll Arsenal this. This is a very awkward hand. Nick has only hit a couple of rolls this entire game, basically, where he doesn't have... where he's had more than one action point. So we're going to go here. We're going to put this on the bottom. We're going to take 2, go to 27. So we're going to activate, make a Seismic Surge, play Command and Conquer. So Nick blocks 6 here. We'll throw the pummel. Hopefully he doesn't have Oasis Respite. Nick not having the Oasis Respite was very big for us right there. Claw for 3. Let's see. We played 2 pummels, put one on the bottom. So I like the idea of blocking 2 here. There's not really a reason to not block with that card. I mean, I guess it was block 2 or throw 2 here. When we're ahead, I think keeping our life difference as much as we can is just better for us. We'd be at 24 right now. Hey, we'd be threatening 8 with the blue pummel, but Nick blocks 3, takes 3. We're going to arsenal our last card here. We'll go disable then Cranial Crush. Barraging Beatdown. Okay. Swing Big. I think we're just going to block 6 here and take 2. Oh, wait. Sorry. Can we back up, Nick? That was dumb.
Yep.
That was an unbelievably stupid play on my part. So the unbelievably stupid play on my part that I would have missed in a real tournament by just passing like I did was that when Nick throws the swing big here, if swing big doesn't hit, we get a quicken token. So we throw 6, and then we'll throw our tectonic plating. We'll take nothing, and we'll get a quicken token, which is very fun. We'll go make a seismic surge, hammer for 6. Seeing Hammer have go again is very funny to me. It just looks off. And then we'll throw the Command and Conquer. Nick doesn't have an arsenal, so maybe the tectonic plating was better served with 2 points later. I do like the idea of having a 12-point turn. I just having a 12-point turn is very good. So we could always just block 8 here and throw 4 and let our turn be 12 points. Or we can activate Bravo and throw Crippling Crush. And so I think we're better. I think we're okay just taking 8 here. We get to activate Bravo, make a Seismic Surge, and Crippling Crush here. Like we kind of get to do it all. I mean, we could also just use the pummel to like play. We could make a surge and then just like try to crippling for 13 with the blue pummel here. If it was a red pummel, or I guess we can't. We need the resources. Yeah, see, I'm getting ahead of myself. So we'll make a surge, activate Bravo, and then just throw the crippling crush here for 11. 11 dominate when Nick doesn't have an arsenal is very good. So Nick takes 8, and then he takes 1 more off the Beast Within trigger. Now he does put a card back in his hand, which does give him the ability to have somewhat of a turn. And he hit a Command and Conquer. It's also pretty good 2-card hand. We're gonna put the pummel towards the top actually here. Okay, Nick rolls a 6 here. So I'm gonna block 3. And Nick throws a Command and Conquer here. I'm just going to go to 12. I like the rest of my hand. I needed to keep the blue here. I really don't want Showtime in my hand, but I need it, or I really don't want Showtime in my deck this late in the game. But I do like the idea of keeping. Do like the idea. I had to keep the blue to be able to dominate Spinal Crush here. Is why I had to keep the Showtime. I would have much rather have kept the Spinal Crush, or honestly just a playable blue. The only good thing about Showtime this late in the game is that it turns on Hammer. Okay, so Nick plays Oasis Respite, which means he's gonna net take 1 here and go to 5. Nick's gonna come in for 3. I'm just gonna go to 9 here. Let's make a Seismic Surge, activate Bravo, come in with a Cranial Crush here. The drawing cards effect is probably not super relevant, but anything I can dominate this late in the game is better for me. I'm up 4 points, and just putting on the pressure here is just really good. So Nick plays Sigil, goes to 8, and then takes 4 and goes back to 4. Takes that, which is not great. I can block 6 here and then dominate. We're using our equipment much later in the game, which is very convenient. Would have been awesome to have a hand that allowed us to tear us under hammer here, but just was not in the cards. So Nick goes to 7, takes 5, go to 2. Nick's coming in for 6. So we have to pitch that to reveal those, and then we get to hammer. So if I block 2, I take 4, go to 5, and I get to have a 13-point turn, which will just take all the cards out of Nick's hand. Plus, I don't think we've seen any Reckless Swings, but we are still at 5. I can't remember if Nick discarded one off of a hit earlier or if that was last game. Looks like that was last game. So we are barring the point where we do have to play around that a little bit. Play this, pitch this, and we'll reveal 14 points, which is enough for 7 and go again. Nick goes to 1, and we'll just throw the hammer here for 6. I don't see a reason to make a surge. I think I would rather have another card in my arsenal. So Nick goes to 2. And then dies? What was the last card in your hand?
How did I die?
Well, you played the Oasis Respite, which puts you to 2, and then you prevent 4, and then you're taking 2.
No. Hold on. Sorry.
No, you're good. Do we need like back up to the start of the turn or something?
Right before you swing hammer. Or right here.
Right here.
Hammer. Yeah.
Get out of this. How do I get out of this? There we are.
I thought I threw that card.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
No, you're good. So Nick actually gains a life on the cycle here. So we're going to come in for 7 dominate here. And hope that this is enough to close out the game. Should be moderately close. If not, we have Chokeslam coming up next turn. I don't remember how many Oasis Respites that is. That is all 3 sigils, and I didn't see a 3rd Respite. So Nick plays Sink Below and takes the final 2. Good game, man. That was a close one.
Good. We'll play one more, if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
We can start all the way over where you can go first.
Oh, okay.
You switch it up.
Let's see. I think I clicked full rematch there. Oh, I guess it registered me clicking quick rematch first. Sorry. I mean, if you want to go second, I'm happy to like jump out and start another game or something real quick.
It's up to you, brother.
I don't mind going second. Like, I was just like, however, whatever you want to do.
Fine, we can do it next match. Like, you start first.
Like you. Oh, like next game?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Bellows to start the game is pretty frightening.
You're all reds.
Dude, that is very unfortunate.
Yeah.
So I was like, knowing that Nick picked 2 reds here, we'll block 6. Let's activate Bravo, and we'll throw Chokeslam and Dominate here. Nick says no blocks. Fate Foreseen and a Sink Below. Okay. So Nick takes nothing here and still keeps a 3-card hand, which is pretty solid. Like on the first turn of the game, it's a pretty way to start the game. A pretty solid way to start the game. This is a hand, to say the least. So I'm actually just gonna block here and then hope that we can do that. And we did end up doing what I wanted to, so that worked out very well. Now we're gonna be able to So we have a couple of options here. We can throw Spinal Crush and make a Surge, or we can just throw the Pulverize for 14. I think throwing the, so normally the opportunities to throw Pulverize are not very, there's not a ton of them during a game. You get very few of them. And I think that when you have the opportunity to throw Pulverize, you should. So Let's just throw the polarize here. If everybody noticed that it got a lot brighter all of a sudden, I forgot to turn my my light on at the beginning of the stream, so I was doing that now. Well, G2 is down 2 games to 1 to Carmine Corp, which is not promising for me. I mean, not really for me, but just in general. I'm a big G2 fan. If anybody watches Rocket League in the chat, you throw Spinal and Pulv gets stuck hard without Crown. Yeah, I mean, and that's like one of the downfalls is that like I'm a lot more aggressive with Pulverize when I have Crown, just because of just like you having that ability is a lot better. So Nick passes here. So this is an interesting choice here. We could throw the buckling blow, or we can just Terrace under hammer. I think Terrace under hammer here is just better. It allows us to set up our arsenal a little bit. Now, Nick's more than likely going to block this out. Yes, you make me. You're kidding. Oh god, what did I say? So this is, I struggle so hard with this because I'm like, what did I say? Rocket League? Oh. I mean, you're not kidding. I do make you watch Rocket League sometimes when I want to watch it on the big TV. So, you might be kidding that it doesn't feel like I force you to, but I kind of do. So Nick managed to block out our hammer here, and he gets to keep a 4-card hand more than likely. Just kidding. He put a card from his hand on the bottom. I don't like that it doesn't tell you over here anymore that Nick put a card in the bottom. I don't feel like that's... I just don't like that. I don't like that one bit. At least you didn't go back-to-back ones again. That would have been terrible. So... I don't think a Quicken token really benefits us here. Like, at all. I think we're better off just playing the Sink Below here. Just take 4 and just call it a day. So, we play our Sink Below. I honestly think we're going to put this on the bottom. I was like, if we draw another blue, we just continue to have our turn that we were going to have. But if we draw a red with double blues, we're probably able to play it. The corner cases there would have been like another Pulverize, a Spinal or a Crippling Crush. So there were a few corner cases there, but so we're going to play Buckle. So Buckle says your next guardian attack this turn gets +1 and dominate. And when this hits a hero, destroy an equipment they control with a -1 counter on it. And so now we're going to note those for 7 here and try to get rid of Nick's Scab Skins. Now, Nick probably has a defense reaction in Arsenal, but we're going to try and get rid of it this turn if we can, because being able to get rid of his Scab Skins would be huge for us. Are you still there, man?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It said you just connected in the Telestar chat. I was just making sure. You still play any MTG or just Flesh and Blood? So I do still play Magic from time to time. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really stream Magic anymore. But I do play Magic. I actually played in the Mana Trader series the other day. Um, well, I qualified for it. I played Mono Red. Wasn't a block with a card.
Yeah.
No, no worries, man. I played. Yeah, I played in the. I qualified for the Mana Trader series. Last month. And then the day of the tournament, my power went out. So I wasn't even able to play it. I was actually going to stream the Swiss portion of the tournament and play Mono Red. And yeah, I still play like Magic Leagues every now and again, like just for fun, but I don't really stream it much. I just like I've kind of shifted toward like Flesh and Blood, and like we've like built a team around Flesh and Blood and some stuff like that. So there's not really I don't really have much incentive to play Magic anymore, but I still like to play Magic just for fun, like every now and again. Sorry, Buckle blows out Reinar. The Buckle didn't hit, did it?
Hey, I didn't have no defense reactions or nothing.
Oh, it's showing this is broken. It still has the counter on it. So yeah, getting rid of the scab skins there was really good. I was wrong. Card good. Lol. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, the card is very good. Like Nathaniel into like it is very good into like the Guardian matchup in my opinion because you can get some equipment pieces, but it's also very good in this matchup. I mean, it's also just like a solid card that like turns on. That just turns on hammer. Okay, so Nick goes to 36 here. We're gonna throw a Spinal Crush for 9. If we would have had a Seismic Surge up, we would have been able to play the card in our arsenal, or we would have been able to activate Bravo this turn. So we would have had some pretty good tools. Ship it if you're still in the chat. Do you play Flesh and Blood or do you just play Magic? Because I remember you used to come by and hang out in the chat when I played Magic quite regularly, but I was like, I haven't seen you much since I got into Flesh and Blood. I didn't know if you played that or not. So we have a couple of options this turn. We can either throw the Crippling Crush. We can throw Rouse the Ancients, throw Hammer, Pummel, so we can have a 17-point turn and arsenal the Crippling Crush here. I think we're just going to take 6 here, take our 15-point turn with our on-hit effect. Yeah, still play MTG, moved to Madison, Wisconsin, so pretty big Magic scene. Oh, that's cool. I don't think I've ever actually been inside the state of Wisconsin for anything. And somebody just knocked on the door and Taryn went running up the stairs. So now we're gonna throw our Crippling Crush here. I know that Magic, is like pretty big all over the US. Like it's all over the place, like in the US. People play Magic everywhere, but Okay, so change of plans. My family just came over and dropped in, so calling the stream. Sorry, we didn't get to finish that game, and it was a little last minute there, but I will. I'll be back tomorrow sometime. We'll be playing tomorrow. I need more practice before Baltimore, so thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take it easy, guys.